Members of the TRADOC Analysis Center Board of Directors, I'm here today to give you an information briefing about the TRAC Technical Review Program. This briefing will last about 10 minutes. It's intended to inform you about the program and allow you to give me guidance and feedback as we develop and implement the program through the rest of this year in the TRADOC Analysis Center. First, I'll remind you, although you don't need it, of our mission essential task, and our core values. I do this because I'm designing, with the help of TRADOC Analysis Center analyst, a technical review program that enhances our mission, helps us to provide credible and better analysis to inform decisions, and touches on every one of our mission essential tasks while complementing and strengthening our core values. Our director, Ms. Fleckinger, tasked me to develop and implement a technical review program in 2014 in order to improve our technical capability to support studies and analysis. I identified 4 goals that we need to achieve in this program. First being to ensure the high quality of the technical merit of our work. Second, to obtain feedback that we can use about good and bad analysis practices. Third, so we learn and share our technical knowledge within the organization, because where we gain our knowledge is when we execute our analysis. We all know how assiduous TRAC analysts are in accomplishing that mission. And finally, through this learning, and through developing knowledge products from it, such as review reports, we're going to improve the technical capacity and capability of our workforce. First, I'm going to tell you the general approach. Then I'm going to dig deeper into details and try to answer some of your questions. At the end of this, you can sling your arrows at me, and I'll try to catch them and answer your questions. So first, rather than a top-down approach to determining when technical reviews occur, leaders in the TRAC organization request technical review. Their teams assemble and provide technical documentation. We have 2 groups that will work on providing input for the technical review. One is a set of anonymous observers, and they will provide Army after-action review style observations about the technical documentation. And then there'll be a core review team of 1 to 3 analysts who are responsible for taking those observations and also looking at the documentation themselves and working with the team that produced the analysis and providing a report on the technical merit of the work with recommendations. That report that they're producing will be reviewed by the team and the leaders within the center that requested the review, and only after they come to agreement on the content of that technical review will it be released across the organization. The anonymous observations will only go to the leader who requested the review, so that we get unfiltered observations that might be useful even if they don't make it into the report. Some questions to consider about this technical review program. First, who determines what should be reviewed? And I argue that analysts themselves might request technical review, that analysts who are leading analysis efforts might request technical review, or leaders who have oversight over a particular study, analysis, or other technical effort might request that technical review. Next, what should be reviewed? Not just analysis supporting studies, but analysis that supports any study, analyses, methodological development, scenario development, data development, or modeling effort within the organization, so that we touch on all of our mission essential tasks. When should it be reviewed? Well, essentially we can do it early in the process, during the analysis process, or at the end. And there are good reasons to request review at each of those points. We have a measurement space process, and during that we determine how we're going to conduct the study, what methodologies we're going to use. That might be a good point to ask for a review if you're looking for alternatives. During the process, you may encounter a technical issue, or you may want technical support. The review process is an excellent way to get at either of those. And then During the closeout, you may have accomplished something. You may have an idea for how you could have done it better. You may want to capture what was done, and a technical review would be appropriate there. So, where does technical review occur? It occurs within the centers, so that you may choose within your own center to conduct an internal technical review, or you may reach across all of the TRADOC Analysis Center for technical review. So why should we review things? Well, we want to gain concurrence with our technical approaches. We might want to find alternatives to those approaches. We might want to share some good technical work we've done. We may have learned something that the rest of the organization needs to know, and a technical review will help us to do that. And finally, we want to improve our analysis and incorporate that into our codes of best practices for the future. This is a detailed methodology. You're all familiar with the standard for our methodology charts. I've defined 6 steps, each producing products. I'm not going to belabor a lot of this. It's here for you to look at in detail. But we identify our review requirement. We plan the technical review. We initiate the technical review. There's where the team has gotten together who's going to be the reviewers, as well as the request is sent out. And we will target some key people. They may be outside of the organization or internal to the organization who have particular expertise. But we also cast that wide net for observations from anybody who has the time to look at the technical aspects of the work and provide back observations. Step 4 occurs in parallel. As those observers' comments are received, the technical review team itself is beginning to shape and conduct the technical review. And as those anonymous results, observations come in, they incorporate them into the report. They begin to draft the report. They have emerging insights and lessons that are being gained, and they begin to interact with the leader and the team that provided the technical documentation and presented the need for the review to begin with. We enter into a loop here where, using feedback and concurrence and non-concurrence on various points that are made, eventually we reach a point whether the review goes forward either concurred with comments, non-concurred with comments, or fully concurred with, and some competent authority says that it goes out to the rest of the organization. At that point, the technical review is provided to the entire organization, and those anonymous comments are provided to the leader who requested the review. So that's our methodology. I know you want to know what this is going to cost and what benefits it's going to bring. So what are the costs? I looked at cost to center leaders, analysis teams, the review team, and the observers. And I tried to estimate from the low side to the high side 3 different types of reviews. One that's a minor review, one I think that will be more typical, and one that might be a major review. In each case, I either looked at the total hours or the hours per analyst that's involved, that's required. I made some assumptions. One of them is that it's only necessary to consider the extra effort. You're going to be documenting technically what you do anyway. Your analysts do that. What else is required in order to communicate that to the review team? I think it's unnecessary to estimate the number of technical observers. These are people who have enough time that they or leaders in the organization ask them to review it. The more observers we have, the better, because that's how we're sharing and spreading knowledge about what we're doing within the organization. There's a whole set of benefits here, and again, I won't walk through and belabor each of those individually. I argue that we get a high degree of benefit to center leaders, to the analysis team, to the review team, to technical observers, and to the organization itself. You can read through those yourself and determine if you agree or disagree. Obviously, I'm giving you a qualitative assessment of cost and benefits, not a quantitative assessment for the most part. But let's walk back to where we started with our mission. And I argued that technical review is going to enhance our mission accomplishment, is going to reinforce and enhance our core values. Now that you've seen the technical review program, I'm asking you to judge that for yourself and provide me feedback. I've taken this to leaders, your subordinates within the organization. I've put this out on our knowledge management site, in the innovation community for input. I've taken comments and concerns and incorporated this into this. What are your questions?